CBT News is expanding its reach like never before and is launching in over 70 million broadcasting households. Whether you have Roku, Apple TV, or a mobile device running on Android or iOS, you can now enjoy our engaging, in-depth interviews with dealers, automakers, trade associations, best-selling authors, motivational speakers, and so much more, whenever and wherever you are. Simply search CBT News in the App Store of your smart TV. Welcome to CBT News with Shyann Malone.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to CBT News. I'm Shyann Malone. Thanks so much for watching. On today's show, we are joined by Time's 2024 Dealer of the Year, Rita Case. She's the president and CEO of Rick Case Auto Group. But first, here's a look at today's top automotive industry stories. In January, the average new car sold for $47,401. That's a 2.6% decrease from December. This marks a significant 3.5% drop year over year, according to Cox Automotive. Now, this trend is attributed to rising inventories and increased incentives. Discounts now make up 5.7% of the average purchase price, compared to 2.8% a year ago. Luxury vehicles and full-size pickup trucks had the greatest and highest discounts, yet small pickups and minivans had below-average incentives. Electric vehicle prices also decreased, with the average price at $55,353, and that's down 10.8% from the previous year. Since the start of 2024, the U.S. government has distributed $135 million in EV tax credits directly to car dealers at the point of sale. Now, this new initiative allows buyers to immediately receive up to $7,500 off new EVs or $4,000 off used ones, instead of claiming them during tax filing. The program has shown strong demand, with more than 25,000 sales from over 11,000 dealers reported. And 78% of the sales included advanced credit payments. Recent eligibility changes due to new battery sourcing rules have reduced the number of qualifying EVs, though. Despite this, the Treasury does aim to strengthen the domestic EV market and lessen dependence on foreign components. This is in line with the August 2022 Inflation Reduction Act's broader reforms. Sonic Automotive, one of the country's largest auto retailers, reported its financial outcomes for the fourth quarter and the full year ending December 31st, 2023. The company saw some steady fourth quarter revenues of $3.6 billion, yet it experienced a 6% decrease in gross profit year over year. The adjusted earnings, excluding pre-tax charges, was $56.9 million, but the reported net income was lower at $38.7 million. Sonic's franchise dealership segment grew to revenue of $3 billion. The EchoPark segment saw a dip in revenues but improved in gross profit. For the full year, Sonic achieved record revenues of $14.4 billion, with a slight decrease in gross profit and reported net income of $178.2 million. Group 1 Automotive has expanded its U.S. portfolio in the Baltimore, Washington, D.C. market. They acquired RRR Auto Group, which includes Toyota, Honda, Hyundai, and Kia dealerships. They also acquired a Toyota certified pre-owned center and 3 collision centers. Now, this acquisition includes the 2 highest volume Honda dealerships in Maryland. They are expected to generate over $500 million in annual revenue. And the company also offloaded 10 franchises and a collision center in Beaumont, Texas in the first quarter of 2024. The sale was part of the company's strategy to focus on larger, higher performing dealerships. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the Times 2024 Dealer of the Year, Rita Case, president and CEO of Rick Case Auto Group. She's here to discuss her remarkable journey.
CBT News is expanding its reach like never before and is launching in over 70 million broadcasting households. Whether you have Roku, Apple TV, or a mobile device running on Android or iOS, you can now enjoy our engaging, in-depth interviews with dealers, automakers, trade associations, best-selling authors, motivational speakers, and so much more, whenever and wherever you are. Simply search CBT News in the App Store of your smart TV.
I think most people know the name Rick Case. It's synonymous with really Honda, right? I mean, that's how you guys got your start.
Yeah.
You're the largest Honda dealer out there. Talk to us about that.
Yeah. Well, my father's the first Honda dealer in the United States.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's
Wow.
dealer number one.
That's pretty cool.
And so back in 1959, when Honda came with the motorcycles, my dad got the franchise. He was
Okay.
a car mechanic with
Okay.
a independent car shop. My
Wow.
mother and my dad had an independent foreign car garage for like MGs and Austin Healey's and things like that. So Honda came to town in Santa Rosa, California, peddling the franchise for the little nifty, thrifty Honda 50.
Sure. Who can forget it?
Yeah. So my dad says, "Well, I'll put those out front and maybe
Sure.
sell a few." My mom could sell those.
Yeah.
So
Was your mom in the business as well?
Yes,
You think
exactly.
that's where you get it from, that you're, this driving force
no
behind?
question,
Yeah.
my mom was my mentor. She's my hero,
Okay.
and she's the one that said, against everyone else saying a woman should not be a car dealer, she was like, "Rita, if this is what you want to do, I'm behind you 100%. I was the first person to sell a Honda car because you could not sell those cars.
You might have been, then you sold the first Honda in the U.S.
In the U.S.,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's my start with Honda, and I stayed with my dad, and I stayed with it. And then, of course, Rick, he started selling used cars in 1962, and so he had a
Okay.
used car lot, and he heard Honda was coming out with a car, and he said, "Boy, I want to be a new car dealer." So he got the motorcycles.
Wow.
And he became the largest volume motorcycle dealer in the world for Honda before the car came out. So from 62 to 68. And
Incredible.
then,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a thing for being the largest volume, whatever.
Whether it was, he introduced
Right?
color TVs,
Yeah, wow.
Snow blowers.
Sure.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
If he thought he could sell something and be number one, that was his goal.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. That's great. In building the company along the way, did you ever say to him, "Hey, maybe enough is enough. Maybe maybe the group's big enough. Maybe we're selling enough cars. Let's just take a little rest here and enjoy life."
Well, you know what? I don't think there would have ever been time for that conversation, because before we even finished hitting the number one goal of
Sure.
which we were trending towards, he had another one
Wow.
on the
Yeah.
plate.
Yeah, that's
no,
something.
up
Isn't that
until
something?
his last breath,
Wow.
his goal was to be number one at anything, whether it was raising the most money for the Boys and Girls Club
Sure.
or American Heart, or whether it was building the biggest, affordable housing project for Habitat for Humanity,
My gosh, wow.
or selling. We hold the record for the most Hondas ever sold in 1 month.
Oh my gosh.
1,222. We hold the record for the most Acuras ever sold in 1 month.
Oh my gosh.
The most Honda motorcycles ever sold. He was about breaking
Sure.
records.
Sure.
And be sure to watch this full interview right here at cbtnews.com. Well, that does wrap up our show for today, but we do invite you right back here tomorrow morning on cbtnews.com. And always remember, you can stay up to date with the most recent news and trends influencing the retail automotive industry by following us on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, and X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm Shyann Malone. Thanks so much for watching. You have a good one.
CBT News, your number one resource for auto industry news and content. CBT News is expanding its reach like never before and is launching in over 70 million broadcasting households. Whether you have Roku, Apple TV, or a mobile device running on Android or iOS, you can now enjoy our engaging, in-depth interviews with dealers, automakers, trade associations, best-selling authors, motivational speakers, and so much more, whenever and wherever you are. Simply search CBT News in the App Store of your smart TV